What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 904 Fishing Podcast. I actually had a special intro for this one. I wrote it out with
Oh, do you?
ChatGPT. Gotta love it. Yeah, it was a ChatGPT inspired one. It says, "Ahoy, anglers and adventure seekers! Welcome aboard another episode of the 904 Fishing Podcast, where we bring the spirit of the sea right to your speakers. I'm Alex, your captain on this voyage, joined by my first mate and fishing aficionado, Nick."
I am also the one who drains the bilge on the boat.
There you go. There you go. Well, today we're setting sail on the tranquil waters, moving away from the shores and into the heart of the ocean as we dive deep into the essentials of boat fishing gear. We're talking rods, reels, and all the combos in between that make fishing from a boat not just a pastime, but a passion. Whether you're trolling the deep blues or casting in the coastal shallows, the right gear can make or break a fishing adventure. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today and help you decode. From the sleek and sophisticated to the rugged and resilient, Nick and I will guide you through selecting the perfect rod and reel combo that promises both thrill in the chase and triumph in the catch. So grab your tackle box, set your compass to fun, and let's make some waves with today's episode on the 904 Fishing Podcast. Nick, what do you say?
Woo!
That was a good one.
Yeah, let's get after it, huh? That sounds like a good one. I like this. Sounds like a good one.
I'm excited. I'm excited. We're getting into it. Nick and I are. That's kind of a sneak peek of what we're going to be getting into this weekend. That's why we decided to do it on this today. Nick, what do you think we're in for this weekend?
Survive.
Survival. Be primal.
Yeah, it's about to be primal.
It really is, honestly.
Yeah, it's about to be all primal up in here this weekend. Yeah, so you want me to just tell them what our plan is?
Yeah, why don't you tell them, like
While
what...
keeping it kind of like...
A little vague, yeah. A little mystery there.
All right, so we're going to go do some camping at a certain place. It's supposed to be a fun time. We're going to get dropped off there, and then we're going to have to hike our way in.
I was just about to say, Nick, is this place we're camping at, is this accessible by the road?
Almost. But no, it is not. So
yes, but also no.
We put up pretty much all of our savings. We pulled out of our 401k to rent a helicopter we're gonna just drop out from the sky. I'm gonna mark it, and then I'm gonna ping where we're gonna. No, so we're actually gonna be taking a vessel,
Absolutely.
onto the camping spot. I guess it's an island.
It's an island through and through.
We're just going to stay one night.
Yep.
Well, fish in the day, in the morning, and probably the evening too. But we're going to stay one night out there. So kind of packing light, but packing the essentials. This will be quite different than the last camping trip that we did, because this one is not going to be we're not going to have as many amenities for ourselves, so we're just going to pretty much go in there bare bones. All my training has led up to this very moment from being in Boy Scouts. Same with Alex. We've done some survival camps, but this one will be out of the comfort zone for sure, but we're going to make it the comfort zone because I just went to a Army surplus
and Navy Depot
over on in Navy Depot at San Juan and Blanding. And I went and got a tent that I was really eyeing last time when we were in there over the last weekend. So I got a good deal on it. Got about half price. Alex, I did open it up. It looks like it's brand new. I thought it was going to be used.
That's what I was telling you, man. I was like, no, there's no way, man.
And so I was kind of worried that, I was banking on this kind of expensive tent, but it's half off of what it is MSRP. I was just kind of worried that it didn't have everything with it, but it actually does. It even has like pit repair little patches in the package still.
Look at that.
So that would it would occur to me that this thing's brand new. So
it sounds like
super excited. I started to set it up, but it just kind of ran out of time. I'll mess with it later. Yeah, so we're gonna just be packing the bare essentials that we need. Obviously, first aid is going to be the first thing that we're even remotely thinking about packing. I mean, I'm going to think about first aid before food, because I'm going to bring food and snacks, just to keep me going and everything, but I'm going to full on bank and bet money on myself that I'm going to catch my own food for dinner. So that way it kind of, I'll prepare for needing to eat my food, but I'm also absolutely mad ladding, just full sending. I'm going to eat what I'm going to catch. So that way that gives it more authenticity, and
Absolutely.
honestly kind of gives it that much more of an experience of this kind of survival camp that we're going to be doing. What else do you have to add, Alex?
I think it's going to be a great time. It's going to be definitely a newer
Correct.
one. It's going to be something that we're trying for the first time on the channel. It's going to be brand new. And we're going to be getting out there on the boat. We're going to be doing a little fishing. And then, yeah, we're getting dropped off on an island. And we're going to be camping on that island. And it's going to be whatever we bring with us. There's no shops on the island. There's no convenience store. If we don't bring it, or we forget it, or we don't bring enough of it, we just don't have it.
Also, side note, what are we going to do for bait then? Are we just going to bank on artificial, or?
On the boat we're gonna have some stuff, but that's a little. We're still hammering out the kinks, so we're gonna be talking about that, I reckon, afterwards.
That's a good point. Yeah, we should be okay, because it'd probably be a mistake to bring bait into the campsite.
Especially with all the wild animals that
Yeah,
we're concerned about.
especially since the fact that I don't want to have to use any of my firearms. So
I got 2 guns on me right now. Bang bang.
I'll square up with a bobcat.
Also, oh dude,
I got 3 cats.
I'll square up with one right now. Are you kidding me? You
I,
kidding?
I've had a I've had a pit. I've had a pit. I can handle it. It gets absolutely just tore up. Just
Right, just shredded.
oh
But
god.
let's go ahead and get into it. First and foremost, you guys, we're gonna go over the forecast for this weekend. It seems to be a nice talking point for everybody, so we're gonna go ahead and get into that.
Glad you mentioned it, because I was just about to ask.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You already know. You
We're,
already
we're
know.
in for a little treat, I think.
It's supposed to be very nice. As you guys know, we do Volano Beach for the central, area of our podcast, or wherever we, give the forecast. So again, this is Volano Beach for Saturday, April 6th. Going to be looking at high tide is going to be 7:14 a.m. Low tide is going to be
Perfect.
1:24 p.m. And again, high tide is going to be 7:38 p.m. Now, I'll tell you what, the high tide and low tide coincide almost perfectly with the sunrise and sunset, because the sunrise is going to be 7:07 a.m. and then the sunset is going to be 7:47 p.m. So 10 minutes off, both on high tide for the sunrise and sunset, which I've always had the best luck. Nick, I don't know about you. I've always had the best luck when those tides coincide with the sunrise.
Yeah, because I was just about to say, like what we talked about last week on here on the podcast, is that right there with that, with the time of the tides of peak high tide, and then also the sunrise. If you get out there at like 6:30, 6:45, go out there and throw some top water,
Oh,
because I
absolutely.
guarantee you,
Absolutely.
what's the wind looking like? Because if it's not going to be windy, it's going to be glassy, and then that's going to be just perfect time for rattle traps. As soon as that light's coming up, spoons, probably
It's
mainly anything top water.
it's going to be a little windy, but I don't think anything that is too egregious, especially if you're going to be casting artificial out there.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at about 10 miles an hour coming from the north-northwest all the way until about noon, and then it's going to bump up to 12, 15 miles an hour coming directly from the north. So
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's egregious. I think
Well,
that it's something that
yeah.
you could definitely still do, and we've done, Nick, when we did that, with that video that's coming out this Thursday, when we went out for that hour-long, fishing up there at Big Talbot. I feel like, that's about when the wind was, or what the wind was. So it's definitely something that I think is doable, and nothing that should shy away, or nothing that should make you shy away from. Actually, I can check real quick. I got my fishing logger here. I was looking for it.
I was about to say, if you're not going to go do it at the beach, maybe it is a little bit too windy. Any intercoastal area or creek, whether you're on a kayak on the shore, any bridge structure, yeah, get out there and throw some top water along the bridge structure, and rattle traps, and
Absolutely.
spoons. I guarantee you're gonna go tear it up.
Good time of
And
year for it. Great time of year for it,
yeah,
even.
yeah, oh, perfect time of year. Especially, I mean, we're about to get a bunch of rain tomorrow for sure. But honestly, this weekend things gonna be pretty nice out there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's all kinds of places everywhere. If you got trees to your back, or any kind of elevation change, you can get out of the wind pretty easily.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And that's definitely something you guys get out there, go do some fishing. You don't want to be sitting in the house all weekend long. And this weekend is really, it's looking great for it. The surf is supposed to be absolutely perfect for surf fishing or intercoastal fishing. We're only going to be looking at about 2 foot waves, 2.5 foot waves, pretty much all day. So,
Oh yeah, that's going to be bringing bait fish in
oh,
for the predators.
absolutely, absolutely, it's going to be. The
Heard
weather
that
and
here
the
first.
temperature are also looking pretty good. We're looking at a low of 53 at sunrise. It's going to be getting up to 61 degrees, and then we're going to be looking at a low of 57 that evening in Volano. So, really, really nice weather
Not bad.
overall, especially
Well,
with that
crisp.
wind. Yeah, a little crisp. You're not going to be sweating. It's not going to be too bad. And overall, it's not supposed to rain at all. It's supposed to be nice and sunny all day long. So nothing to nothing to make you shy away from it. Definitely get out there, do some fishing, you guys. It's going to be a good day for it.
Absolutely. I'm actually so jazzed up about this right now. I just pulled my sleeping bag out of my sustainment pack.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, little teaser. But I'm gonna have to. I can make it work. I can make it work, no problem. Um, it might end up looking a little wonky, but honestly, looking at this
It's going to work.
backpack more,
It's going to work.
actually just seeing kind of what these other little things on the backpack are for. I'm gonna maximize this backpack. Yeah, I could have a bigger one and I could fit more stuff in it, but I'm gonna get this thing all set up, good to go. It's gonna work out perfect for it. I'll be able to fit everything I need in here. Um, Packing light. I'm just gonna bring the essentials. Don't need to bring anything crazy. Excuse me, crazy. So, wow, I can't talk today. It seems,
Sorry, you'll have that on these big
but
jobs.
oh yeah, dang, I'm excited. I honestly, I could have saved some money and spent cheaper, but
I'm
y'all have heard me
curious to
talk about
see.
it.
I'm curious to see because I bought a very similar tent to what Nikolai bought, and but mine was a cheap
Ah,
version, a cheap knockoff, really, on Amazon. So I'm curious to see how they compare.
well, I mean, hey, uh, that's the good thing too. As long as you're not rough with your stuff, it should be fine. Even if you get something a little lower cost. That's just what I'm excited for because now, I mean, this thing I'm gonna use it for pretty much if I'm camping by myself. I think this is gonna be my setup, honestly. Unless kind of like what we had over there at Huguenot, I'd get away with just for comfort and room. If it's
Hmm.
gonna be more than one night, then yeah, I'd probably just bring my two-person tent, which
Hey,
is
yeah, you'd
fine
be all
for
right.
if you got a cot, which I do, and then just have plenty of room for storage or But this one I think is going to be pretty roomy. And I thought about getting a hammock, but honestly, um, hammocks are cool. There's always the tent versus hammock debate, right?
Always,
We've
always.
seen videos of it, and it seems like the tent versus hammock videos, like that one that you sent me, Alex, it was very hammock sided and it made good points. But the one that I was thinking about before I was about to buy one of the hammocks that I've been looking at on Amazon, like that same one that you have,
Right,
they're great until you don't have any trees that are in your preferred camping spot that are the
right,
right width
right.
apart. Because I
Yeah.
was thinking about this. I was actually talking about this with my dad the other day because I was telling him about this tent. Um, and we were talking about like hammocks and stuff. And I was like, well, because he's like, what if there's no trees there, or if there are, they're just too far apart. I was like, that's a great point. And then also too, it
Very
would
good
be
point.
pretty lame to be like, oh, this would be perfect to have set up right here. versus, oh, I got to go by these trees, which are now tucked closer to the woods or some bushes where, you're going to have to worry about more bugs and stuff, even though it's netted. But I was
Right.
just thinking, I mean, if you know your spot and you know how you're going to set it up, if you've been there before, you scouted it out.
It's different, yeah.
And if you know you can, yeah, it's different. But I think going into it kind of blind, I'd rather bank on just sleeping in a tent on the ground.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I agree. I agree.
'Cause
It's
I thought
definitely,
about that and I
yeah.
was like,
It's
ooh.
one of those things. I'm going to be, the reason Nick's bringing this up is I am bringing a hammock, and that would be my preferred method of camping for this camping trip. But I'm also bringing a backup tent just in case, because like Nick is saying, we've never been there, and if I don't have a place to put the hammock, I will be sleeping on the ground, which is not preferred. So we're going to be testing
Hey,
out.
Nick,
Hey, can I?
I know it's a one-person tent, but can we maybe just kind of
Just cuddle a little, just a little, nothing crazy, just a little.
life or death? I'll allow it.
Right. Otherwise, you're like, man, good luck though. That's crazy.
You can sleep on my porch.
Right. Exactly. So we're looking into it, and yes, it would, Dana. That's what I was just saying. I'm gonna bring the both of them, just to be sure, just to make sure to cover everything, cover all my bases. But
This
I do.
poor guy just literally sleep in the tent or in the hammock on the ground with just the rain tarp on top of you.
Just
Sad camping noises.
the equivalent of when you go spend the night at your buddy's house and he goes to sleep before giving you a blanket, so you just cover yourself with like paper towels on the couch. yeah, exactly.
I used this dude, he had a big bean bag, but it was like one of the heavy ones that are like, at that time it felt like 80 pounds.
Right.
Probably still like 80 pounds, but I'd straight up just put that on top of my legs.
Hey man,
And I was like, yep.
Gotta do what you gotta do,
It was too cold on the sleep or on the
to sleep on top of it.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we've all been there. I think we've all been there. But I'm pretty excited, you guys. I got some. I even got my paracord here, and I'm gonna be paracord wrapping some stuff. Pretty excited about that. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. So without any more dilly-dallying, let's go ahead and get into good rods and reels to take on your boat. And why do you need different combos to take on your boat versus just using your surf combos or your intercoastal combos even?
I won't have very much experience speaking from this. I haven't really fished in a lot of boats. I honestly,
so
I think
far,
we're
gonna change that. We're gonna change that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, most of it is, especially if you have even minor fishing experience, you can tell pretty easily what you need to bring as far as boat fishing versus surf fishing, because you don't want to be out on the boat with a 12-foot rod, trying to that's too much. You're doing too much, and you don't want to be out there trying to cast that thing around, hooking other people. You're hitting stuff. 12 foot's too long. It's just that's not what you need.
Yeah, it'd be a little goofy.
Yeah, exactly. But in the same kind of wavelength, you don't want something that's too short either. A 5 or even 6 foot rod, I would consider to be too small when it comes to fishing off of a boat. For me, in my experience, I would say that the sweet spot, you're going to be looking in the 7 to 8 foot range. 8 foot for a little more casting distance, and 7 foot is just a good all-round, run-of-the-mill, good quality, good length rod, in my opinion.
I think for what we're going for, yeah. But I maybe if you're like going for Goliath grouper or like big fish,
right? Well, that's
like
yeah,
6 foot, super thick like boat rods.
Exactly. Well, and that's kind of one of the things that we're going to get into is like what do you need, for different kinds of fishing for boat? Because you could do artificial fishing, you could do bottom fishing, you could do, casting. There's all kinds of stuff guys can get into. We're going to go over that in this episode, so make sure you guys stick around. And if you haven't, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click the bell notification. We go weekly every Tuesday, 7 p.m., and I upload a video every Thursday at 7 p.m., so definitely check it out. And we are definitely expanding our horizons with what we've been doing and what I have planned. I have quite a bit planned for this summer. I'm very excited. There's going to be a lot more cooking. There's going to be a lot more camping. So y'all stay tuned and figure out what we're going to be doing.
And don't worry, the fishing isn't going anywhere. It never
Oh
will.
no, yeah, the fishing has been in all of us this whole time. But we're going to be kind of expanding and building on it, if you will.
Mm-hmm. But we're not under construction. This is an active thing, so don't even worry about that. We're just going to combine two of the best hobbies that you can have if you're a nature enjoyer.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So we're going to be getting into it. We got a couple more people popping into the chat here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be in Volano. Let's see. Sam Holt says, we'll be in Volano around June. Can't wait to be on the beach fishing again. Absolutely, man. Come on down.
Bring some like long sleeve shirts and something to cover your neck, and then definitely some long pants. Good UV pants and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely going to want to bring UV stuff.
Good sunglasses, just because that sun, especially in June, 3 hours, you'll be fully cooked, and you'll know about it for the next week. So just prepare yourself for that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, the no-see-ums, absolutely, John. John says, I'm doing another Bushcraft event if you'd like to attend. John, that sounds awesome. I don't know what that is, but I'm extremely interested.
Bushcraft is like...
I know what Bushcraft is. Oh. I know what Bushcraft... I meant his event. I don't know what he means by I'm doing another Bushcraft event.
Sorry, dude, I was ready to go.
No, I know what Bushcraft... Oh, my Lord.
Encyclopedia.
This guy over here. Bushcrafting is when you go into the bush and start crafting... All right.
Yeah,
no.
Pretty much.
No, yeah. Hey, is that why they call it? All right, we're going to stop. We're going to move on. Get into... a lot of people ask me, what does the action mean when it comes to rod? Because let's say you pick out a good length rod, 7-8 foot, 6, 7, 8 foot. Perfect. Well, there's more to it than that. You've got fast action, medium action, and slow action. And a lot of people ask me, when I used to work at a sporting goods store, a lot of people ask me, what does that even mean? What does it mean to have a fast action rod versus a slow action rod, and what is the difference between the two? So the first one, fast action rods, basically what that means is those kind of rods are ideal for situations that require sensitivity and precise hook sets, something that you want to be able to feel the bite. They're perfect for lures that tend to be worked really hard with the rod, like jigs and soft plastic, something that you need to put some action into. And they bend primarily at the tip as opposed to the length of the rod. So you get a really nice, fast, twitchy rod tip, which is great for detecting bites, as well as giving you excellent control and sensitivity. So that's what a fast action rod is. And then, moving...
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So also think of the fast action, say you're using a lure and you want to just twitch it. Think of your lure now as twitching fast along with that, so you don't have to yank the rod as hard to twitch the rod to work that lure or that bait.
You almost have to be subtle with it.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. I mean, like I was showing, like whenever we were out there at Big Talbot, I was just working the rod tip, just doing a little light bounce that's in the wrist. It's the flick of the wrist.
Yep.
But so, and then also another.
I was looking at the flick of the wrist even.
Oh, wow. Confirmed. But then, so also, if you're flounder fishing, or let's say you're working a jig head with a lure. For instance, jig head with a gulp shrimp or some kind of lure, paddle tail or whatever, and you're bouncing it off the bottom. You want that fast action tip, so that way, if you're working the bottom and bouncing it off slowly, then you can feel that you're on the bottom. Because if you get those kind of medium heavy actions, or I guess the slow or what would it be, heavy action, so it's not going to be as sensitive, and you're not going to really feel your lure
right,
and your setup kind of working.
Absolutely and definitely it's one of those things. Typically with the medium action rods, it's a good balance. They do flex at the top half of the rod, and they're versatile and will not work well with a broad range of techniques and lures. Just good all round. If you're not entirely positive what you need, I definitely recommend a medium action rod, which is why you hear a lot of people say medium heavy action rod. A lot of 9 times out of 10, you go pick up a pre-made combo from a store, I can almost guarantee you it's going to be a medium action rod. Almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. 100%.
And that's like if you're getting into probably like the 8-9 footer range.
Oh yeah, well you can get them in any particular length, but yeah, typically you'll find those in the 8-9 foot range, especially when it comes to saltwater.
And then heavy action, well, that's going to be just 10 foot to 12 foot or up, like 10 foot and up surf rods, I imagine. Or,
yeah, well, you can
those
find those. I was about to say, so typically, like with the boat rods and whatnot, that'll be a slow action rod. And what that means is the entire length of the rod will bend, which can be advantageous if you are fishing with light tackle or you need a more forgiving action and you don't want to, break the line or pull hooks or something like that. But you can have a lot more action in there as opposed to light rods or heavy rods. So that's like you'll hear fast action tip, heavy rod, which means it's rated for heavier weights, but will still give you that nice fast action tip on it. So it's kind of a double-sided coin, to what you need. They don't necessarily always go hand in hand. But yeah, that's the difference between a heavy rod versus a light rod, if you will.
Some good information here. This is, more stuff that I'm learning too.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're always here for that, and we're always here to help you guys learn as we learn ourselves. When we learn something new, we're gonna help you out, and we're gonna let you know. But
as there's been a lot of times I'm trying to learn something and then just having to go by trial and error. So if there's always that extra help out there, extra little advice, that's always appreciated.
100%. And that also applies like for casting, if you get a light action or a light rod, you can throw light lures, small lures, finesse lures, stuff like that, and with more accuracy. But the heavy rods, like for example, the video that we have coming out this Thursday, Nick and I even went over it a little bit in the video. We were talking about it, where the rods we had were good for kayak fishing, which is what they were. They were our kayak combos, and we weren't quite able to get our baits out as far as we wanted them to. Now, if we had a little longer rod that was a little heavier, we would have been able to really get those long distance casts. When you need to put the power behind a cast to get a bait out there, that's when you're going to need those heavy rods.
I had the 8-footer in the car. I wanted it. I'm going to mute myself just for a minute because of vacuum.
No, all good. No worries. So you guys make sure, you guys do your homework. You can go out and just buy something willy-nilly, but I don't want anybody spending money that they don't need to, especially in this economy. I mean, are you kidding me? But it's one of those
nobody
things.
Look at me.
Yeah, no one look at Nick.
Okay.
Nick makes bad financial decisions. Good
at it.
Not for long. I make bad financial decisions. Dana said, would like to know where to find fishing thread to keep bait on hook and name of. So, Dana, what you're referring to is going to be called magic thread. It's a small thread. I've used it in a couple of my videos. I'm sure you guys have seen. You can find it in a lot of different places. I know that Strike Zone carries it. I know that Resellers Reef carries it. But it's one of those things that you can get I would say most fishing stores carry it. It's very common. You can find it in a variety of different colors: white, pink, red, see-through, clear, all kinds of neon. Like, you can find all kinds of stuff. Dana, I'm going to go ahead and link you a one that I found on Amazon. This is a white one. Again, this will work just as well as anything else. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat for you right there. There you go, buddy. That is going to be the same exact one that I do. And the way it's cool. It comes in this little tube with a rubber top, and you just poke the wire through the top, and you pull out what you need, wrap it around the bait, and then when you're done, you just pull it, and it snaps off. But the tensile strength and it'll like bind in on itself, and it'll really help you hold your any bait. Honestly, I was gonna say shrimp, but any bait if you wanted to. I mean, it works well with oysters, clams, fiddlers, crabs, shiners, mud minnows, cut bait, shrimp, anything you want to put on there, it can work really well.
Damn, dude, we kind of been messing up. We need to use that next time we're shark fishing.
100%. 100%. And I thought about that after the fact too.
Because that way you could really launch that bait out there and not worry about it just flinging off.
Exactly.
Ooh, all right, that's going to be a game changer right there. If you're going for something big,
Just put it on the rod, tie it on
use
the
some of
rod.
that magic thread, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't find it at Academy Sports. That actually isn't as surprising. I misspoke.
Yeah.
That's my apologies. When I referenced like fishing stores or like tackle shops or whatnot, I was referring to more of the local ones. Because yeah, I really can't seem to find it at like Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods, Walmart, stuff like that. But I can definitely find it at the local places. I mean, I found it at Brown's Fish Camp up there off Heckscher. Found it at Resellers Reef off of 17 or Roosevelt, whatever you want to call it. And also Strike Zone on Beach Boulevard. Avid Angler, St. Augustine.
The Bait Shack in Volano.
The Bait Shack carries it. Yeah, you can definitely find it, around there. But yeah, like
probably Janung's too. Janung's, which is a little further south.
But also a great one. And if you guys ever have any questions, please don't feel intimidated. Definitely ask us. We answer every question, every comment, and respond to everything as best we can.
Yeah, we might have to. Do we still have the Facebook Messenger set up so that way?
No,
they can go to
the 904 Fishing Facebook page got hacked, and I have been fighting for almost 2 years now to try to recover it. And Facebook is saying that they can't confirm that it's my page, and I'm like, look at the pictures, look at me, it's mine.
Look at yourself, yeah, it's me.
Yeah, like I don't know, but it
it goes.
It comes and goes. You'll have that on these big jobs.
You're on Instagram too, so
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. I have an email, 904fishingflorida@gmail.com. If you have more sensitive questions, you don't want to put the information out there, as it were, then definitely shoot me an email. I'm always happy to respond to anything there, you guys. But yeah, so typically, like for example, when we're going out on the boat, I like to choose. This is my personal preference. I like to choose a 7 to 8 foot rod. And then for reel size, I like to go not too big, but not too small. I like to go right in the middle. I like to go for either a 4,000 or 5,000 size reel. I find that gives me a good kind of all-round application for, any uses I might need for going off the boat. And that'll give me enough line to, if I hook something big, it can run. I don't have to worry about it. And you can take, 2,500 size reels, 3,000 size reels out there, but you hook into something big, it's going to take off. You're going to get spooled. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So, and typically with those larger reels, you do get more pound per inch drag, I believe it is, or pound per whatever pound. You get stronger drag basically. So you're able to really tighten that down and lock down on them if you need to.
And depending on what pound braid or mono or fluorocarbon that you're using, have more yardage. That way you can, if let's say, like if you run a lighter line, then at least you know that, well, you can let it feel drag for a little longer because you got enough yardage of line to combat that. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, but that's one of the things you take into account. Because, you could take an 8,000 size reel everywhere you go fishing and, the intercoastal and off the beach and on a boat and whatnot. But you'll never get spooled. But you probably got too much. You probably got too much reel for you.
A little overkill.
But, I mean, so it's all different applications, you guys. And one of the big things that I've seen people make mistakes on time and time again is every time I go out on a boat with people, for some reason they think to themselves, I'm on a boat, I need giant hooks to catch big fish. And I can't tell you how many times I've gone out with people, and on their boats, mind you, and they'll pull out a bottom rig and they got a freaking 10-aught hook on it. And I'm like, what are you doing? You don't always need that.
The fish mouths are pretty small, and it's going to give it away, and the fish are going to see that hook if the hook is bigger than the bait.
Or if they can even get the hook in their darn mouth and they don't just steal your bait.
Yeah.
Because you guys got to think about it. If you've got a little 2-aught hook and you put a piece of bait on there and those little bait fish steal your bait because they're pecking it off there, think about that, but with a big hook, with a big bait, and a large fish, but because that hook is too big for their mouths, they're just going to peck that bait right off that hook. It's the same thing. It's just upscaled.
Yeah, literally.
Simple as that. So, it's one of those things that you want to try to make sure you're doing your best to stay within the confines of what you're fishing for. Because, 10-aught hooks, unless you're going for Goliath grouper or, great hammerhead sharks or something, you don't need a 10-aught hook for that kind of stuff. Unless you're going for a species of fish that notably has a giant mouth, you don't need hooks that big. Whenever I go, even offshore, if I'm fishing reefs offshore with a bottom rig and with squid or live bait or whatever it is, at most, I've got a 4 or 5-aught hook, and that's large. Most of the time, I use 2-aught, 3-aught hooks, circle hooks, and I'm perfectly fine. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And
because that's usually I use like 1 to 3-aught.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
that's all you need.
But I feel like the biggest hooks that I use are going to end up being the jig heads.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I cut out there, but yeah, probably going to be end up being the jig heads are the biggest hooks, because then I've got 2 watts, and then if I'm just kind of getting robbed of bait, then I'll throw on a 1-aught hook, and then because then just depending on where it is, if you're in the creeks, 2-aught's too big, and if you just keep losing your bait, throw on a 1-aught. I bet you then you'll figure out it's either pinfish, croaker, or mangrove snapper that keep taking your bait.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, if you are losing your bait repetitively, yeah, go ahead and downsize real quick and see if that helps. And if it doesn't, well, then there's probably just too much bait fish run. You need to go to a new spot. And that's one of the advantages to fishing on a boat, because I know Nick and I have talked about quite a bit, fishing off the shore versus a kayak versus a boat, and the advantages to all of them. And they all have their own advantages and their own applications, just like any other fishing gear. You got to picture it the same way. Kayaks are great, and we can get back up in the creeks, and we can get, back up in there where you don't have to worry about anybody fishing with you unless they're on a kayak as well. But personally, I'm not going 10 miles offshore to fish a reef with my kayak.
No.
So it's one of those deals that if you have the right application for it, then you got a good time.
It could be the most expensive kayak in the world that's literally made for that. You're not going to catch me out there in that.
Not 10 miles. I'll go like
even on a
beach.
Sea-Doo, like the fishing Sea-Doo.
Oh yeah, no. I see people do that kind of stuff all the time. Oh my Lord.
No.
No. Couldn't be me.
Boats are sketch enough in itself. But no.
Exactly. Exactly. But overall, bait's pretty much the same, you guys. You want to make sure you're using either fresh dead bait or live bait. We're going to be fishing around the jetties and some intercoastals potentially. We're waiting for the weather to kind of figure out what we're doing. But, we're going to be using sinking twitch baits, suspending twitch baits, stuff like that. Probably got some, I would imagine, fish bites out there with us, some artificial. Mm-hmm. Maybe some fiddlers or shrimp. Can't go wrong with shrimp. Shrimp works everywhere, no matter where you are in the ocean. If you got shrimp, you're going to catch something, plain and simple. You could be off the shore, you could be up in the intercoastal, you could be 10 miles off. You're going to catch something on shrimp, guaranteed.
The unfortunate thing for a young man, I'm just going to have to use what tackle and stuff that I already have. I really don't want to go spend more money on more stuff. I'll do it, but I don't need to. I've got enough stuff.
I'll do it again.
I will.
But yeah, so we're looking forward to it. This weekend's going to be an absolute banger. USDA certified banger, if you will.
In every country known to man.
Can confirm. So, and I just want to, give a big thank you, guys.
Even California confirmed.
Oh, Lord. But I want to give a big thank you to everyone who has been following us lately, has been tuning in, has been watching all the new videos we've been putting out, trying something a little different with the editing style and, different videos, doing instead of one big video, I split it up into 2 videos, and then I'm going to make, one big video out of the 2 of them and put that out. So I'm trying new things, and you guys seem to enjoy it. So I just want to say I really appreciate that.
Can we just get a round of applause, everybody at home?
Good job, No.
Because like he's just been absolutely just killing the game right now. He's been learning more. I haven't helped with editing because I don't know how to do that, but he's just been absolutely trying new things, and look at him. He's been excelling. I'm proud of him. Proud of the young man.
I appreciate that, Nick. Yeah, it's been a good time, and it's always good to expand your horizons and try different things. So if you are, looking to get out there and something like I've told Nick, especially when it comes to, and if anyone's listening, Jeff, I saw your question, by the way. Jeff went ahead and asked, what color soft plastics do you like for our dark waters? I am getting to that, Jeff. I did not miss you. I am going to get to that. But,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to start, and I've told Nick this before, I told Nick this back in 2016 when I started my channel, is like, oh man, I really want to get started doing that. I just don't know where to start. Hey, neither did I, and I'm still figuring it out. You guys want to get out there, you guys want to start fishing and start a YouTube channel, start a camping channel, start a bushcrafting channel, whatever you guys want to do, just go ahead and hit that record button and, get out there, start recording some content and putting it up on the internet. That's one of the great things of this day and age is anything you guys want to do and put out there for others to watch and enjoy, you can absolutely do.
Yeah, I mean, like I was telling you, I'm gonna here coming up soon when I pull the engine out of the other car.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm gonna get some footage of that because, I've had opportunities in the past doing similar things, but this time I really want to make sure to actually get some good content and footage from it, and I'll end up posting it on my channel, I'm sure, because this will be some good moments, yeah. And honestly, I think it'd be, if anybody's interested in any engine stuff, then maybe watch. I don't know how great it'll be compared to other people that do it for a living, but it'll be mine. It'll be my own. So
absolutely, and we're looking forward to you guys. I'm gonna help them out, and we're just gonna do the darn thing, But to shift back over, Jeff. Again, Jeff asked, what color soft plastics do you like for our dark water? So there's two different things you can do for this, Jeff. You can do bright colors, like more of a chartreuse, if you will, hot pink, orange, white, lime green. Yeah. So those can work very well because they can stand out in the darker waters. Even the glow in the dark stuff.
A lot of contrast.
Right. It can really, really, make them stand out. But the downside of that is that it makes them stand out. And a lot of saltwater fish, when they see those bright colors, that to them means poison. So they're like, oh no, I want to stay away from that. So you can do a lot of, purple, black, dark blue, stuff like that. Something that
silver.
Silver. Something that can more match the hatch of the local bait fish and the kinds of bait fish for blending into their surroundings and stuff like that. Personally, Jeff, I like to go with more of the natural colors, the black, purple, dark blue, silver, gray even. Something that, more imitates a mullet, a mud minnow, not a shiner, mullet, mud minnow, finger mullet. Yeah. Just little stuff. But
Sally.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, a lot of it, what a lot of it can boil down to is the target of species you guys are, you're trying to target, because one, what color might be good for redfish isn't going to necessarily be good for flounder and stuff like that. So it's always good to go out there, try different things, try new things. But typically, Jeff, what I like to do is stick to the darker colors. And you guys will see that in the episode that'll come out in 2 days on Thursday. And Nick and I were both using very similar colored suspending twitch baits, and actually we weren't. Nick was using one color. I was using an opposite color. Nick hooked up into something. I switched over to that same kind of color profile, and 5 minutes later I had a fish. So definitely, guys, check that out, and it'll give you a nice, idea of what we like to throw, especially in these waters around here in Jacksonville, where it's a little more murky instead of clear.
And on the other side of that coin, let's say you're surf fishing and you have a pompano rig. So those are going to be either pink, lime green, or bright orange, like safety orange. So it's good to have some contrast that stands out just to bring more attention. But like Alex said, it just depends on what species you're going for and, what water clarity or water type that you're fishing. Matching the hatch is usually what works the best. Same goes for, bait too. If you're using live bait or fresh dead bait, just try to match what's out there, because that's what the fish are going to be eating and eventually come your way. Yeah.
It's, and it's all trial and error. That's all fishing, that's all you can do. But I reckon we're going to wrap it up here shortly. If anybody has anything, like I said, like they'd like to add in the comments or ask in the comments, definitely feel free to reach out. We will answer everything. And keep an eye out for some awesome content coming up. This weekend's going to be awesome. Saturday's going to be awesome. Sunday's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to it. And you guys seem to be enjoying the camping content. So Nick and I are planning even more stuff like that. Where we do those 2-part videos where we go fishing on Saturday and then, on Sunday we go camping, or Saturday night into Sunday we go camping, and, we get 2 videos for you. So keep an eye out for that, you guys. It's going to be awesome. Nick, anything you'd like to add?
I was about to say, do we want to answer any questions or anything? Do you have any questions, or are you wanting to?
Oh, yeah. 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 Oh, I got some questions.
Very nice. I was going to say, too, yeah, like we appreciate everybody following us and everything. It's just nice to see, that we're actually putting together stuff that people enjoy watching and hopefully feel like they're there with us.
Absolutely.
I think that's kind of like what we're going for here. Just to make it relatable and like,
try to give
I'll go out there and do that.
Try to give a voice to the anglers that are in Jacksonville, because you guys know you got all those, because there's a ton of different podcasts out there, but they're either in California, they're on the Northeast coast, they're on the West coast, they're in the Gulf. I didn't really know of any particular podcast that is based out of Jacksonville, Florida. And I truly believe Jacksonville, Florida has some of the best fishing that you can get anywhere in the United States. Just based off of pure diversity. You can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
But
I still would like to get down there to the Keys at some point.
Oh, we're going.
Because
it's going to happen.
I've still yet to go to the Keys. Lived in Florida my whole life. Kind of a shame, but I don't have money like that.
Same.
It's not because I spend money like what I just did.
Well,
potentially.
No.
But, I don't know, because I feel like the fishing down there is just so different, where you can just damn near throw a hook out there and something will go after it. But it looks like a cool time. Shoot, dude, even the west coast of Florida, I've still yet to fish in the Gulf. So yeah, I think there'll be some things coming up, and I have another idea for a future camp idea that may or may not involve the kayaks. That's in a different spot.
It's going to be a good
what
time.
You're thinking of, Alex. It's a different spot than what you're thinking of.
Oh, shucks.
It's actually I saw a video a while ago on YouTube. It was these guys, they went out. It was down there near Titusville.
Okay.
So there was this spot that they were able to park on the side of the road, which was right next to the intercoastal, but then they were able to put their kayaks in and actually paddle out to this island that had like a picnic table on it. It had like a camp grill and an actual like legit fire pit.
Hey, look at that.
It looked pretty neat, because then they just fished all around there and stayed the night out there. So
awesome.
I'm sure there's plenty of other places like that around anyway, but that's the cool thing about Florida. There's
so much to do.
Outdoor activities.
There's so much to do. There's so much room for activities.
Oh, absolutely.
But stay tuned, you guys, because we're going to be enjoying all of it, I'm sure. Nick, you want to jump into some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, fantastic. The first one is kind of something a little new we're going to be doing on the channel here. Not necessarily fishing related, but anyways, Nick, what is Mosquito Lagoon, exactly, Jeff. What is which we do want to get down there. Dang it. Nick, what is your favorite fishing snack to bring with you when you go fishing?
Ooh.
It's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Honestly, it's going to be a granola bar of some sort, whether it's a Cliff Bar.
Good, versatile kind of.
Nature Valley, because...
Oh, classic.
Me personally, I like to eat a lighter breakfast anyway. I'll just have like a granola bar, fruit bar, something like that, and maybe some like peanuts or almonds or pecans, cashews, mixed nuts. I like to go for light, not too full in the morning, unless it's the weekend and I'm not doing anything, for sure. But something I'd say.
Let's say when you're going fishing,
bars.
Granola.
I'd say granola bars, because that way it's light, easy to pack. I'm going to be bringing a bunch of those on the camping trip, because it's easy energy.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, a lot of
prep
makes you feel full.
Yeah,
good calories.
Yeah, exactly. Anything to kind of get you going and kind of like a good Kickstarter for the day. I don't drink coffee, so um, it really just matters how much sleep I get, and then kind of what's my energy intake to start the morning off.
I agree. You know, honestly, mine kind of goes the same way, Nick, and I know you've seen it. But one of my favorite snacks to bring out fishing with me, because I don't like to be eating the whole time I'm out there, and I
Hmm.
might bring something a little newer. But honestly, one of my favorite things to bring out with me fishing, and eat on the surf or even the kayak really is I enjoy some Greek yogurt.
Yeah,
Can't go
yeah.
wrong with some nice Greek yogurt. Good
Alex did put me
energy.
onto it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We get it from Aldi. Love Aldi, and
Hmm.
not sponsored. Reach out.
Unless,
Right, right. But they got all different flavors and stuff. It's nice stuff. It's really good stuff. But
I was gonna say, like, what about whenever we bring the cheeses and sausages with some crackers, or
oh yeah,
even
oh
if we
yeah.
pack a sandwich? Granted, I guess that's more so a lunch,
But
but that
even
still
then,
kind of
a
falls
good
in the
nice
snack
sandwich, yeah.
territory. Oh yeah, dude. Good nice sandwich, and you had it in like the fridge overnight, so
Mm-hmm.
it's
Still a little
cool.
cool.
Those are good. They're a little bit, take up a little bit more room, and if you got to make sure it stays cool, but those are also a good one. Um, yeah, really anything along there. Sometimes I'll go by Wawa and I'll get a breakfast sandwich, but
Yeah,
or
yeah, we've all been
even
there.
before the kayaks. But the thing is, if you know you're going to be out there all day and you're not near a bathroom, you know the rest. I don't have to explain it. So you just got to choose wisely on that, or you'll pay the consequences.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to be in the middle of the ocean thinking, oh no, I have planned poorly.
Yeah, you don't want to
Yeah,
be out there at Guana River in the kayak and you're like, "Oh no, I'm about a 30-minute paddle back to the
right, right.
to the ramp and oh wow, look at this. What's this? An island. That looks like a good tree." And then you have to, "Oh no, I
And
don't have any toilet paper."
or socks.
Uh-oh. Or socks. Uh-oh, I have a microfiber, and then you have to deem this island yours and name it Poo Poo Island.
Hey,
Um,
happens
I
to the
don't
best
know.
of us. Happens
It
to the best
wasn't
of us.
me. It certainly did not happen to me. But
Allegedly.
I'm saying if it did, that's a good name for an island. And I imagine that if you didn't have anything to clean up with, maybe a microfiber could be a good sort of anyway. Wasn't me.
Allegedly. Um, Now, Nick, I know a lot of anglers. Moving on to the next question. I know a lot of anglers have fishing superstitions or rituals they swear by. Do you have any fishing superstitions or pre-trip rituals that you believe bring you good luck when you go fishing?
All right, so let's see. Things to bring good luck.
Yeah, is there something you do or is there signs you look for?
So just for me, and not preaching nothing. I will pray the night before and then getting out there and stuff. Whether it helps, possibly, but that helps. But then, if the conditions are looking good, and really, if honestly, what seems to work is whenever we're like on time and we're like ahead of time and everything is like working smoothly, it seems like that's whenever it works pretty well. But then again, it's also we've been kind of running late and been like, oh, we're gonna miss the bite, and then we end up working pretty well. I think I don't know. Maybe maybe just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm almost kind of
Stum,
I'm
you're
almost
trying to.
blanking.
Yeah, I was about to say you're trying to think if there's anything like if you've done anything or you do anything.
So so superstition. I feel like if you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna catch a bunch of. If you call it ahead of time, yeah, that's a big standard to live up to, and then you only hurt yourself whenever if you don't do as good as as you say you're
So
gonna do or think you're gonna do. So you kind of got to go into it, just to get out there to have a good time anyway. You're getting out of the house, you're off work, you're out there with your friends, with your family, whatnot, or just by yourself. You're out there. If you're going out there for just the good time and the peace and the release, and then if you catch something, then that's just the double whammy to kind of make it even better time. But I think as long as you're just hopeful and positive about it, but know that you're going to go out there and have a good time regardless, I think that helps.
Okay.
Gives good grace.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know
What
I
about
have a
you?
couple. Yeah, I definitely have a couple. And I don't think I'm a superstitious guy, but I'm a little stitious. You know. But no.
That'll conclude this podcast.
Yeah. So, so I've got a couple that I do. One of them that I do is whenever we go surf fishing. I don't know where this started or why it started or what, but whenever we go surf fishing and you see a dragonfly land on the tip of your rod while it's like
Yep.
while you have a line out, that's good luck.
Yeah.
That's good luck. I don't know why. I don't know why it's good luck.
I've always been told that's good luck.
Exactly. I don't know where it came from. It's good luck. I have another one that's a little more further out there because I've been trying to think of my own. No, it's not the banana one. It's y'all don't laugh at me. If I see a hawk flying above me as I'm going to fishing, I know it's going to be a good day. I know I'm going to have a good day of fishing. I know I'm going to have a successful day of fishing. If I see a hawk now further, building on that, and this has happened multiple times, that's why it's become one of my beliefs. If I see a hawk carrying a snake in its talons as I'm going fishing, it means that it would have potentially been a disastrous day, but good fortune is going to smile on me, and I'm going to avoid that misfortune. So whenever I see it, because the snake represents, kind of sneaky, evil kind of deal. So whenever I see a hawk with a snake in its talons, it means that somebody or something was looking out for me, and I'm now going to have good fortune for the rest of my day because it has been removed from my life for that day.
Yeah, I don't see anything funny about that or to laugh at. Yeah, I like that, and it's kind of true because either a hawk or what's happened for me too. If I see either seagulls out there or pelicans diving in the water. Let's say we're out there at the beach, right? This has happened before. I saw these birds coming. They were flying down the coast or down the shore, and I saw them start diving. So I said, "Oh, quick! Grab the spoon. Put a spoon on, quick!" And I threw a spoon on real quick, and I started casting ahead of where those birds were, and immediately me and a buddy, we were both throwing spoons, but immediately me and my buddy, we caught these good-sized jacks. First cast out there because we saw the birds diving down, going for bait, and which were more than likely being chased by those jacks. So really, yeah, if you look out there and you see any birds, maybe try to fish around near there because they're obviously out there for a reason, going after something.
Absolutely, and that's one of those things. But that's my two main superstitions. So,
or if you walk out there and it just smells like fish, you're like,
oh yeah, you can always tell. But yeah, it's one of those things. Everyone's got their own little ritual. Everyone has, their fishing hat or their shirt or anything like that. So if you guys let us know down in the comments below, what are some superstitions you guys have, or what's some, rituals that you guys partake in to maybe
we'd love
ensure.
to hear.
Yeah, I'm always curious to see what everyone else has when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I think we've done a similar one to this, but this one will be specific to this episode. What? Money?
Yeah, I forgot about this mystery tackle box and the lures that are in this. So I'll bring that with me. And I'll bring those with me.
There you go.
Oh wow.
But
right, sorry.
No, you're good, Nick. If you had to pick one style of boat, Matthew, I did see your comment. Matthew asked, "How does the atmospheric pressure affect saltwater fishing?" I am getting to that. I'm just finishing this last question, then we're gonna get to that. That'll be our wrap up here.
You don't even have to finish the question. I'm going to say 18-foot center console flat bottom.
18-foot center console.
14 to 18 foot.
Absolutely.
Good creek
okay.
boat,
Yeah, good creek boat, intercoastal. Okay.
I could beach it.
Right.
I like the
I was
What
going to
is
ask,
it?
for the record, for those of you that aren't as perceptive as Nick, I was going to ask, Nick, what's your dream boat? Or if you could own a boat, which boat would you own right now? That's what he's answering.
I gotcha. Yeah, I actually just saw a s- it's not the boat that I would necessarily want, but it was pretty cool. So it was like one of those offshore boats, but it had a cabin with a door. So I was like,
Very
that's kind of
nice.
neat because you could be inside dry. Oh,
Chilling.
dude, what are they called?
Houseboats?
What are they called? No, 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 not that, because it wasn't necessarily a houseboat.
I mean, a lot of
Um,
those bigger ones, when you start getting into the 30, 40-foot range, a lot of them do have cabins. So, you know, um, that's probably what you're thinking. See, I like that boat, though, because I feel like a lot of people that I ask that, they're always like, oh, I want a 60-foot troller that, I can go deep sea fishing in, and I can take that, and live and do whatever on it, da 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 da. And my first reaction to that is,
here it is.
where are you gonna put it? Because that's a big boy.
I found the boat that I'm thinking of.
Where are you gonna put it? How are you gonna pay for
Hmm.
the gas? Because God knows that gas bill is gonna be about $1,000 every time you go out. You
Oh yeah.
know, where are you gonna gear it? Who's gonna man it with you? Because manning a kind of boat like that by yourself, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, you're gonna
So
need a crew.
so I feel like that's a little excessive, really. Um, personally, just like Nick, I would love like a bass tracker, nothing crazy, 15 to 20 feet. Um, Probably not even twin outboards, honestly. Probably just need the single outboard and a center console, something that I could just as comfortably take, a couple miles offshore as I could go in the creeks, as I could pull the niece and nephew behind me on a tube, something like that. And
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, good all around.
good
Yeah, I
all
was about
round multi-purpose boat.
so the ones that I was thinking of, it's these. They're like 16 to 8 or 16 to like 20 foot. It's the Tracker Grizzly. It looks like.
Okay, yeah,
They
like a
got center console and side console, and they're aluminum. So I mean, you got the option to put the deck covering on there, like the deck cushioning. I
okay.
forget exactly what it's
I think I'm
called. The
actually.
deck board.
Are you looking at the Grizzly 2072?
Like the 1860 or the 1754, 1648, around the same. We're pretty much there's a 2072. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at.
That
I'm
one's pretty
I'm
nice.
looking
That's a
at the
21 foot.
1860. Yeah, this is very similar to what I'm looking at. And
Yeah, because I like those because I feel like I'd get more use for them in a
right,
creek, and
right.
there's less risk as far as offshore madness. But for what I'd want to do with being able to fish bridges, fish flats, even be able to beach it and not worry about scuffing up the bottom, or if I hit it on oysters, it's not gonna be the end of the world.
Exactly.
I don't know, 'cause I feel like I could get more use out of one of those than. And the V holes are nice. The V holes are nice. That's the only thing you got to worry about. How much water can you go through? What
Right.
kind of depth range do you have? But also, I mean, like it would be nice to have a big enough boat that has a cabin on the inside that has like a bathroom. That'd be cool. That'd be a little bit more, um, you know, wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever, friendly or family friendly, I guess you could just say. So then that way it's not like, hey, I got to go to the bathroom, and then you have a Home Depot bucket with a pool noodle on the top. Like, well,
And
everyone
a
look
bag
away.
inside. We're not animals.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
But
Yeah, I mean, I would like one of those, just like a good center console, nothing too crazy and it could be flat bottom V hole. I know V hole is going to be a little more of a more comfortable ride if it's a little choppy, but I don't know. I like the flat bottoms because they're rugged.
exactly. Couldn't agree more. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna answer Matthew's question. Matthew asks, "How does the atmospheric pressure affect saltwater fishing?" So he's talking about the barometric pressure, and it actually plays a pretty significant role in saltwater fishing because it affects in all fishing really, but especially saltwater I've seen because it does affect the fish behavior when they can bite, when they're not. So it's definitely something you guys want to keep track of, which is why I have my fishing log that I'm starting now to keep track of that. But Yeah, changes in the barometric pressure can make fish more or less active. When the pressure is falling, indicating a storm is approaching, fish may feed more because they know like something's coming, so they don't know if they'll be able to eat in the coming days, so they will eat more. Typically, if it's falling, you guys are going to have a more successful day, as opposed to if you're fishing a pressure or barometric pressure that is high and not moving. The fish tend to be less active and more cautious, so you're not going to have nearly as much luck, or statistically, you will not have nearly as much luck. And then, of course, that can even affect the barometric pressure, can even affect the type of lure you guys are throwing or the presentation you guys have of it. Like I said, during low pressure periods, fish often like a more finesse bait or live bait. And then high pressure periods, you guys are they're gonna want something that's more artificial or flashy kind of deal to get their attention more. Get more of a reaction bite out of them, really.
Probably going to matter too with like what depth that they're going to be in.
Exactly. So paying attention to the barometric pressure when it's falling, when it's rising, when it's going to be changing, all that kinds of stuff is definitely something you should definitely, keep an eye out for and take a look at for when you guys are wanting to fish, because it matters. It does.
Absolutely. Yeah, any time if you can check and all the conditions like what was just stated, those are going to be your best friend, because they'll either work with you or they'll work against you.
Exactly. And noticing those trends is part of learning and part of getting out there and figuring it out and being successful.
Absolutely.
But
dang, dude, I'm ready to get out there.
I'm so ready. But we're going to wrap it up there, you guys. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Let's see, Matthew, Dana, Jeff, Sydney, Sam. Want to appreciate all of you guys. John, want to appreciate all you guys for tuning in. And I'm excited to get out there, do some fishing. Nick, you got anything to add?
We appreciate everybody viewing and keeping up with us and everything. Stay tuned. Definitely, there's going to be some good stuff coming out.
Gnarly stuff, absolutely. But
that'll hopefully inspire you.
There you go.
The viewer, the listener, the audience.
Rick, thank you very much. Yep, that is my 904 Fishing Podcast background. You can see there. AI generated it myself. All right, you guys, we're gonna end it there. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 7 p.m. Tuesday. But until then, keep your casts long, your lines tight, and your stories true.
Absolutely.